What is up, homies? Welcome back to another trailer reaction from Heroes Reforged. We are reacting to the brand new trailer for Avatar: The Way of Water, only 2 weeks after we reacted to the last trailer. Before we get into the reaction, if you want to see our uncut reactions for all the things that we've been watching, including, coming very soon, Avatar, the original film, we'll be watching that again in 3D. We'll have uncut reactions of that on Patreon, and we'll also do a cut down version, obviously, for YouTube as well. We'll also be doing a review for The Way of Water, so stay tuned, check out all that stuff. Links are down in the description below for our Patreon. Subscribe if you haven't already. We are like 1,500 away from 100,000 subscribers. We're so damn close. So close. Also, we have new social media handles on Hive. If y'all want to go join us on Hive,
it's true.
It's exciting. It's new. We're trying it out. Check it out.
Twitter might burn down tomorrow. You never know. So we're on Instagram. We're on Hive. We're everywhere where social media handles are accepted.
I'm ready. I just so happen to rewatch the first Avatar tonight, so I'm very ready.
I just went on Flight of Passage at Universal. I'm sorry, Universal. What am I talking? Universal at Disney.
Islands of Adventure, Orlando, baby.
Islands of Adventure, baby, with Wolverine. I went on this ride last week or 2 weeks ago, and it made me really excited for the movie. So let's see what this trailer's got to offer, because I am ready to go.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
The visuals, man.
Yeah.
They hold up, dude.
Why do you come to us?
These colors are popping.
I just want to keep my family safe.
He's got like 8 kids, this guy.
Thanks, Sully. Very busy.
For 13 years.
As our brothers and sisters. Teach them our ways. Keep up, Forest Boy!
If you want to live here, you have to ride.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Whoa, that's cool.
Somebody's gonna drown, man.
Breathe.
Oh, wow. Jesus, that interaction with the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Wow, look at that shot. That was great.
Outcasts, that's all they see.
I see.
That's the line, boys.
Damn.
I'm a warrior like you. I'm supposed to fight. Protect the people.
Let's get it done.
Oh, damn. Whoa.
Yeah, dude. You see that mouth opening on that sucker?
Avatar.
I may like this one more than the first one, dude. This looks really cool, and like it looks like it is.
Experience it in 3D.
Ooh, I like that. But it just it feels like it's taking it to the next level, dude. You know, like the jungle of Pandora, the trees, the connectedness of nature. That's what made the first movie special.
Yeah.
And this movie feels like, okay, all of that, but also with oceans. And it's like, I love the ocean. That's a good call, man. That stuff is magical. Holy shit. I'm very excited.
Here's my hot take. Hot take. I hate the ocean. I'm not a strong swimmer. I'm fucking terrified of the water, but this makes me want to jump into the ocean and jump on one of those things. And like, they make it look fun and it looks beautiful. And these movies, we were kind of talking about it earlier tonight, and like, we don't know what the story is, and we don't know, like what their connectedness is with the other movie, but just on its own, just visually, this is like a spectacle that you have to see in the highest resolution, in the best sound. Like it's a movie goers, a movie theaters movie.
Yeah.
Like you really have to experience it there for the first time.
I agree. And I want to say, like, not to dismiss, like we've talked about before in the other trailer reaction, the like valid criticisms of the first Avatar film, especially of like the story at a story level, right? What sort of like like stereotypical or tropey things were in there. It's not invalid to criticize that stuff. However, the movie's not just a story. This movie, the original movie and this movie, it looks like it's the same as the original. It's about that experience. And it's the type of film that, like, as you're watching it, it's kind of the most amazing thing you've ever seen. Maybe when the movie's done, maybe the story doesn't necessarily stay with you as much as other films might. Other films have that kind of specificity and power sometimes. But these movies, that first film is very powerful, is very specific. It has universal themes that I think worm their way into us and kind of stay with us. The themes on display obviously are like militarization, military, destroying the earth and nature is bad. Trying to be in touch with nature is good. That theme is always going to be universal, but it's not just about the story. It's not just about the script, the writing, the whatever. It's all of it together. And man, oh man, this looks like an experience.
Yeah, and I don't think that you have to watch any interviews or anything with James Cameron before to kind of get that sort of context. But I will say that when I went to go see the remaster, I did do a little bit of a deep dive on the Blu-rays and on YouTube. It is interesting to kind of understand his perspective of how he sees this world and how he tries to translate how he feels about nature, how he feels about oceans, how he feels about, you know, just the beauty of our earth, and how he tries to kind of showcase that in this movie. You know, he's been such an explorer of the sea for the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years, especially after he did Titanic. And he's really trying to showcase that here. And, you know, we always talk about exploring space, the unknown, what's out there. For him, he's like, look, the sea is just as fascinating. The deepest parts of the oceans, we've never been down there. We don't know what's down there, what kind of bacteria lives down there. And he's really changed his lifestyle as well. Like these Avatar movies have really, and not just Avatar, but also everything he did up to that point have really changed how he lives his life. You know, he doesn't live in LA anymore. He had a huge compound in Malibu where he had security and he had guns and was very much like all about safety. Now he's got, I don't know how many acres of farmland, I think in New Zealand, and he grows, you know, fruits and vegetables, and he distributes a lot of it to the people that live around there, and just a much more sustainable lifestyle. And he is in some ways downscaled his life in a lot of, you know, considering it's James Cameron, that's like, you know, that's kind of sounds ridiculous, but it's interesting to just kind of like know that, and then watching these movies and what they're trying to say about, you know, how you were talking about militarization or coming in to take resources from these like native tribes and stuff. So yes, I think there is a conversation to be had about the story, the plot points, and what the story is and what it's trying to say. But I also, and I can't help to also see like what James Cameron is trying to say about how we treat the world that we live in. And, you know, some people might say it doesn't really work for them, but I at least appreciate that there's that effort there to at least say something about it. You know, I know that they've been doing some promo stuff for this movie where they're also trying to encourage like, hey, if you go to this website and you design your own Na'vi, you know, creature or character, these organizations will donate towards other organizations to help the earth. And I'm like, that's cool. You don't see a lot of movies doing that. And, you know, as like hokey as it could sound, or maybe, you know, it's all bullshit. I like to think and like to be somewhat optimistic that like, no, this is, even if it's $1 or $5, it's going towards something that helps our earth. Why not? Like we could all use a little bit of that in our life. So it makes me excited to just experience what this story is and who these characters are, what they represent, and what he has to say about this new water tribe that we're going to meet. And it seems like there could be some potential things to deal with, maybe like reincarnation, because we know that Dr. Augustine is like a new character in this movie. He plays Sigourney Weaver plays a new character. We know that Stephen Lang is in it as Miles Quaritch, but he might be like a different version of this character. So I'm really curious to see like what all the pieces of this movie are, because the trailers have been kind of vague about what exactly is happening.
And this trailer feels like it's focusing on Jake Sully and Ney'tiri's kids. Like it's like the next generation. And I'm like, I think that's so smart, is to do either a time skip or maybe they just real world timed it where it's like it's 13 years later.
12, 13 years. Yeah.
And we've got a teenage character now, and some other, you know, their family has expanded. I think that that's so smart. And I feel as though, you know, that goes back to, I know James Cameron was influenced by stuff like, this is going to be a weird pull, guys. Bear with me here for a second. John Carter of Mars did a similar thing.
Never heard of it.
In the original books, like the first few books were about John Carter, and then like other stories afterwards were like about him and Deja Thoris's children and offspring and grandchildren. And, you know, to keep that like epic generational story going, they could easily do that with the characters of Pandora. It'd be cool if Avatar 3 did that. and then a time skip Avatar 4, time skip Avatar 5, it'd be awesome. Keep going further into this future. So
yeah, it's going to be really interesting to watch I'm mesmerized by these visuals, but it's going to be really interesting to see the audience reception for this one at this point, because I'm not sure when this movie first came out, when Avatar 1 first came out, I wasn't really paying attention to the landscape of movies or trailers or anything like that. So I don't know what the audience reception was to the first trailer before that movie came out. But I know that after the movie came out, it was a massive hit, but I never would have guessed it, given that I had never heard about this franchise before. Like, I didn't know I was going to love it as much as I did. Just looking at it again, it has big shoes to fill, but also it's been such a long time that it's going to be really interesting to see what the audience reception is right off the bat. So we'll see.
For sure.
Are you guys going to watch it opening day? What's going on?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude. I actually do already have tickets for it for Christmas Day with my family. We're going to go see it in 3D. I mean, this, like you were saying, Augustine, this is a movie that should be seen on the biggest screen you can find. IMAX 3D will give you that experience. It'll also look amazing in Dolby 3D and in Real D 3D. We saw the remaster. It looked amazing for a movie that's 13 years old. So I can only imagine that this movie being made with today's technology, we have a couple friends who are working on these movies. It's really amazing what James Cameron does with technology and how hard he pushes it forward. And we know from our experience in VFX that sometimes can be a blessing and a curse. You could be really working your artist to the point that like nobody wants to work on your movies, or it encourages your artist to want to do their best possible work because they know they're going to be a part of something special. So
I hope that this team got the best of all of that, because they've also just had all of these years. I'm hoping that this, because Avatar is not something that needs to come out before the next Avatar movie that's going to be coming out the year after that or whatever. This is just that solo big show. So I'm really hoping that the visual effects artist, they didn't have 13 years to work on just the visuals for Avatar: The Way of Water, but maybe they did, and maybe teams have been working that long and perfecting
at least 10 years now.
I want to say too, the last thing I'll say is I rewatched the original tonight with my dad, who hadn't seen the original since 2009 in the theaters. He came over, we watched it in 3D, and he's very, very excited about the new film. And at the end of it, he turned to me and he goes, this is the type of movie that I feel lucky to be alive at this time on this planet.
Wow.
To be able to see something like this, because he kept telling me, he goes, stuff like this was not this way when I was a kid. And then I was thinking about like his parents' generation and the type of media that they were, that they had access to.
Yeah, it was
even
like
just in film, but like it was new. And it's amazing to think about how much just like the medium of film has what it's been able to do in about 100 years, or a little over 100 years. And so when my dad said that, it did make me feel like, oh man, at some point I'm going to be as old as my dad, and I'll turn to somebody else and go, I'm so happy I was able to see this thing and be alive and see this, whatever that thing is.
Alive to see the 200th Marvel Cinematic Universe film.
And coming in 2026 to the 200th Marvel film. Maybe
3 years away, boys.
A very, very exciting time. Yeah, I'm going to turn over and be like, phase 29 is pretty good. Pretty good phase so
phase
far.
1, that was a banger,
I
baby.
remember. Yeah, but phase 29 might be my favorite phase yet.
Man, our letterbox lists are going to get long. God damn. I definitely want to know what people think about it. I definitely want to know how people feel about it in the comments below. Let us know. James Cameron has said that if this movie is an absolute flop, then he has an ending for 3, and that'll be it. So we'll see. These movies have to make quite a bit of money to break even to continue to let them, sort of come out. So we'll see. But let us know in the comments below what you think about this trailer. What are your thoughts about Avatar overall? Are you excited for it? What format are you going to see it in? It better be in 3D, otherwise we're going to block you off this channel. Subscribe.
You're not allowed to comment.
That's right. And we'll see you guys in the next reaction.
Bye.
Bye.